Hey, it's Scott Barratt and welcome back to The Burning Truth. My coffee's actually hot this week. The Weetabix is powering me up, and you know what that means. It's time to ring the bell and dive into this week's explosive NXT review. Last night's NXT was pure chaos. The Performance Center, a massive announcement from a WWE Hall of Famer, flipped the script on a championship match at Deadline, and trust me, I think it's going to shake things up in a way you won't believe. Plus, the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifiers had the NXT roster pulling out all the stops, and let's just say a few stars are now officially on the path to greatness. But that's not all. There was a shocking alliance, heated brawls, and a main event that had everyone buzzing. Oh, and the aftermath, let's just say tensions boiled over in a big way in the tag division. You don't want to miss this breakdown, so smash that like button, hit subscribe, because only 4.4% of people who watch these videos subscribe. So please hit subscribe, it'll help us a lot, and stick around because this is The Burning Truth. And as I said before, let's ring the bell and get into it, because that's what we do, yeah? Hope everybody's okay. Oh, that's a really nice coffee. Last night kicked off with Ridge Holland making a bold statement and a dramatic entrance, busting through a Chase U logo. It was similar to how you would see at American football games, college American football games, high school American football games. You know, they all come through the big banner. And he was met with a chorus of boos. He wasted no time addressing the crowd, doubling down on his previous claims and officially announcing his NXT championship match against Trick Williams at NXT Deadline. A fiery segment, solidified Holland as a dominant heel, set the tone. I still cannot get on board with Ridge Holland. I just don't rate him at all. And I know that's difficult to say, but it is only an opinion, and you might have your own opinion. But yeah, I'm just not buying it, right? I just don't. He doesn't engage me at all. Yeah, I just don't get it. So anyway, after that, we got our first Iron Survivor Challenge qualifier, and this easily could have been the main event, right? We got Ethan Page versus Axiom, and Axiom was with Nathan Frazier, the tag team champions. Showcased a lot of athleticism in this one, technical prowess early on, exchanging rapid pinfall attempts. Axiom nearly sealed the win with his signature golden ratio, forcing Page to retreat out of the ring. And after a commercial break, Page had the upper hand, methodically working Axiom over, boom, 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 boom. Over a while, the NXT tag division watched closely backstage. You could see that. Axiom brought the crowd to life with a standing Spanish fly, earning a near fall, later connected with a super Spanish fly that almost ended the match and probably should have done. I mean, I'm not a big fan of doing these super moves if they're not the finish. However, you know, Ethan Page's resilience shone through. The final moments, Page avoided another golden ratio and delivered a thunderous lariat to secure the victory, advancing in the Iron Survivor Challenge. That's right, a lariat. And it was a good one. And it made sense. And it finished the match. And I was okay with it. Not the same as the tombstone from the apron onto the steel steps that happened at AEW over the weekend. And then they got up and did the finish in the ring. Ridiculous. Right? AEW, ridiculous. NXT, sensible. Not just sensible, but it was a better finish. It was a better match, if I'm completely honest. You know, they weren't going out there and just trying for a 5-star ratio from Dave Meltzer. They were just, you know, having a really clever match that told a story. Post-match for that, all the tag teams are out, brawling again as they did last week. Nathan Frazier and Axiom did the big dive onto the rest of them, and then they all brawled to the back. We then had a backstage interview where Ethan Page, you know, was really happy with his victory until Nathan Frazier interrupted, challenging Page's earlier comments. Frazier defended Axiom's abilities, and he hinted, though, at his own potential in the Iron Survivor. The exchange escalated as Wesley, Javon Evans, and several other tag teams entered the fray, leading to a big chaotic brawl. And the melee actually eventually spilled into the an area where Ava was standing, and Ava actually got hit, and Shawn Michaels wasn't very happy with it. And I'm not sure if I'm confusing that with a segment later in the night, but certainly there was a segment also where the tag teams again are brawling, and Ava gets taken out, gets hit, the door gets hit, and the door smashes into her. She goes down. Shawn Michaels was not very happy about it. So, yeah, thanks for joining if you're on TikTok. Before we go any further, let me tell you about episode 348 of the Burning Truth Live podcast. This one was a banger again. This week, Matt and I broke down the biggest stories in wrestling, and things were getting spicy. CM Punk now teaming with Roman Reigns for Survivor Series War Games, and that's just become the must-see event of the year. We're analysing every jaw-dropping moment for that. It's not just about that, though. We also had Rhea Ripley making an explosive return, master wielding chaos in the Women's War Games build-up. So we're diving into what that comeback means for Survivor Series. Meanwhile, Matt was talking pre-book, and he took the creative reins. Rather than our normal reboot this segment, I challenged him to do a pre-book this segment, and asked him to craft the ultimate return feud for Bryan Danielson, setting him against his former ally Jon Moxley in a battle of heart versus rage. You will not want to miss his vision on this, and I think it was really good. I think I gave him 4 out of 5 bangers. And we also had a big debate. We tackled the ultimate question. The last 12 months of CM Punk back in WWE, has it been the legendary comeback that we hoped for, or has it been a colossal flop? Matt and I went head-to-head about this, and trust me, sparks absolutely flew. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and catch episode 348 of The Burning Truth, available now on all platforms where you get your podcasts and this YouTube. This one's too good to miss. And like I said, only 4.4% of people who watch the videos on YouTube are actually subscribed to the channel. What are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button, guys. Come on. We need you. We need you. What else did we have going on in NXT? We had Lola Vice versus Ren Sinclair, who was accompanied by Charlie Dempsey. Lola Vice continued to rise in the women's division, battling Ren, who was accompanied, like I said, by Charlie Dempsey. Vice dominated early, showcasing a striking arsenal and executed a series of suplexes. Sinclair was countering with like some arm-focused offense, so really taking control after targeting the arm of Lola Vice, especially with the ring step she used as well. However, Sinclair's hesitation after Dempsey's instructions allowed Vice to regroup, and in a decisive moment, Vice connected with a spinning backfist to score the victory. Post-match, Vice addressed the camera directly, and she called out, who? Well, you know who, Jada Parker, vowing that their next encounter would be a war. And that's what we want, right? We want Lola Vice versus Jada Parker again. Yes, please. Let's see it. Let's have it. It was lovely. What else we got? Potential match of the night here from me. Don't know what you think. Iron Survivor Challenge qualifier, Giulia versus Kalani Jordan. Absolutely potential match of the night for me. Giulia punched a ticket to the Iron Survivor Challenge by defeating Kalani Jordan. And it was technical mastery at its best. Dominated by Giulia's submission expertise, systematically targeted Jordan's limbs. Despite Jordan's attempts to mount a comeback, Giulia's relentless offense forced Kalani Jordan eventually to tap out, securing Giulia's spot in the high-stakes challenge. When I say NXT has the best women's division in professional wrestling, I absolutely mean it. It has 100% got the best women's division in professional wrestling. And this proved it. Just another absolute banger. We had a women's revolution, a women's evolution, you know, God, nearly 10 years ago now, probably. But what we're seeing now is what is the next step of that? And these ladies that are coming through are sensational. I'm really excited for some of these to finally appear. I don't want to lose what we've got on NXT now. That's not what I want to do. But I'm really excited for this crop to eventually get to the main roster because, oh my God, it's going to be sensational when we can get them in the ring with the likes of Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, you know, returning possible Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria. Yeah, just on and on and on. There's so many, and I've missed so many there. Naomi, Bailey, you know, absolutely unbelievable. Oscar, Kairi Sane. Oh my God, WWE's women's division, man, and not a Mercedes Moné inside. What have we got next? The NXT North American Championship. So, if you had asked me last week what I was most looking forward to this week, I would have said this: the Don versus the former Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears. So we've got Tony D'Angelo defending the North American Championship against Shawn Spears. Both competitors did bring their A game in this, delivered a mix of hard-hitting strikes, strategic counters. The crowd was fully invested in the action, and rightly so, yeah. I really like these two. Tony D'Angelo has been an absolute surprise package since I've been watching these and doing these NXT reviews. I'm all about Tony D'Angelo and Sean Spears. Don't get me wrong, I preferred the Ty Dillinger character, if I'm honest. Maybe that's me looking back with rose-tinted glasses. But I enjoyed what they did here. In the end, Spears pushed D'Angelo to his limits, and D'Angelo retained the title with a really well-timed spinebuster, solidifying, his position as a dominant champion. Another win. The spinebuster was really nice, actually. Crisp, lovely. And I don't think that's it. I think we've got more. Oh, I know what I want to tell you about. Right? Let me tell you something. Yeah, let me show you this. Before we talk more NXT, let me talk about making sure your holiday style is truly too sweet this year. If you want to be styling and profiling at your Christmas party, or the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be in festive fashion, you need to get the Burning Truth Christmas Jumper 2024. This jumper is as snug as a mandible claw, as sharp as an RKO out of nowhere, and guaranteed to make you the people's champion of your Christmas parties. So if you're aiming to raise some Christmas hell or just keep warm, it's a limited run. So we haven't got many of them. So get yours before it's too late. They're absolutely there on the burningtruthuk.com. The link is in the description below. So don't miss out on the chance to pin this deal for the 3 count. Let's dive back into the action. I'll leave that up for a second, actually, because I really, really like it. The Christmas jumper. It's the image we use for the podcast, and then Merry Christmas, mateys. But I cannot wait for mine to come. Christmas right around the corner. We absolutely need to get those. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see a picture of that there. We're live on YouTube for the NXT review. And following that, I suppose it's time to talk about the NXT Women's North American Championship match, which was Fallon Henley and Tatum Paxley. And again, North American Championship match, this time for the ladies. From the outset, Paxley brought an aggressive and methodical approach to this. And I see that after last week's shit, the tequila shot, I think she calls it, fantastic finish. I don't think she could hit it on everyone, but it looked really good on Fallon Henley. And she targeted Henley's midsection this week to cut off the champion's offense. Henley, however, relied on grit, speed, evaded several key moves, countering with quick roll-ups, precision strikes. Paxley's strength, if you can call it that, I think she did have a slight strength advantage, and that came into play midway through the match as she grounded Henley with a powerful belly-to-back suplex and transitioned into a series of submission holds. The crowd rallied behind Henley as she clawed her way to the ropes to force the break, and the momentum shifted when Paxley attempted a high-risk maneuver off the top rope, only for Henley to counter it with a sudden drop kick, and then sensing an opening, released her signature offense, if you like, a flurry of running clotheslines, flying bulldog off the second rope, despite this late surge. Despite this, we did have a late surge from Paxley. Henley sealing the victory, though, with a trademark Shining Wizard, retaining the championship in a hard-fought battle. But that wasn't all, right? And that's pretty much the story of this week's NXT. That wasn't all. There's more. And this time, as Henley celebrated after a successful title defense, the lights in the performance center dimmed, and the crowd erupted from a surprise as, big drink, I mean, let's be fair, if you're watching this review, you should know about that. But Gigi Dolin made a return. Dolin, dressed in striking new gear, to be fair, reminded me of like 90s, I want to be Avril Lavigne. That's what people were wearing. Sort of late 90s, early 2000s. It probably wasn't 90s, it was probably early 2000s. I want to be Avril Lavigne, sort of Grebo, Lita inspired, that sort of look. And she stormed to the ring from behind, actually, because they were all facing the entrance, and she come from behind him, attacked Henley and the rest of Fatal Influence with a brutal assault. The ambush left the champion writhing on the mat, and Dolin raised the Women's North American Championship high, sending a clear message to Henley and the rest of the division and the rest of Fatal Influence that she's back and aiming not just for revenge on JC Jane, but also on her eyes on the NXT North American Championship. So that was the dramatic conclusion, if you like, to the night, and it only solidified for me Henley as a resilient champion, but also, really did wonders for Tatum Paxley. And, was a great reintroduction for Gigi Dolin, who I'm not too familiar with. I know that she was in a group with JC Jane and Mandy Rose, but I don't know too much about them other than that. So introducing that new threat, great. And it set the stage for an intense rivalry heading into Deadline, hopefully, or post-Deadline, because you never know. And then at the end of the night, we got Trick Williams coming out to address his upcoming title defense at Deadline. Ridge Holland interrupted, reigniting the rivalry with a heated war of words, and the segment reached a boiling point when, all of a sudden, my man, the #1 podcast that I listen to, and probably my favorite wrestling personality currently, WWE Hall of Famer Eazy-E Eric Bischoff made a surprise appearance to lay down the law. Bischoff announced that the NXT Championship match at Deadline would have no disqualifications, which raised the stakes for what is sure to be an explosive showdown. He also said he would be at NXT next week to really see what they're made of. So that'll be really, really good to see Eazy-E on NXT last week. I'm really excited about that. So I suppose in summary, this episode of NXT, balanced in-ring action, compelling character moments, offering standout performances across the board. Ridge Holland commanded the opener, if you like. I'm still not sold on him, but I'm getting used to him being there. High octane, chaos in the tag division, Lola Vice, and her fiery post-match declaration. The show, for me, pretty much successfully built anticipation, not just for next week, but for NXT Deadline as well, which is really good. I don't know what you guys thought. Please leave me a message in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on this week's NXT. And I think that's it from me, guys. So yeah, that's a wrap on this week's NXT review. Next Tuesday, the Performance Centre is primed for even more chaos, drama, and jaw-dropping surprises. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. I'll be back here Wednesday morning to break down all of the biggest moments, so make sure you're subscribed down below and ready for another epic review. What's next for Trick Williams and Ridge Holland after Eric Bischoff's shocking announcement? How will the stakes escalate as the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifiers continue to heat up? And could a game-changing debut or surprise twist be lurking just around the corner? Anything can happen as we race towards Deadline. Want to keep the conversation going? You can find us on Twitter at TBT Live UK, Instagram at The Burning Truth, Facebook at The Burning Truth. Catch all the episodes and live reactions on YouTube at The Burning Truth 251. If you've got thoughts, predictions, or questions, you can shoot us an email at info@theburningtruthuk.com. Please, please, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us grow and keeps this wrestling community buzzing. And if you haven't yet, please check out the Burning Truth Christmas Jumper 2024 on our website, theburningtruthuk.com. It's here. It's awesome. I can't wait for mine. It's your ultimate tag team partner for the Christmas season. So until next time, stay hyped, enjoy the action, and I'll see you next Wednesday morning. In fact, I might see you before that because we are YouTube living all the time. You can already catch actually on our YouTube page our WWE Survivor Series War Games predictions for this weekend. And I might see you again tomorrow night on a live where me and Matt Burns will either be talking about our 2024 awards or our big bold predictions for 2025. So there's a little sneak peek for you. But either way, I'll see you next Wednesday morning for another NXT Burning Truth review. This has been the Burning Truth. Excelsior.